ES1 is pushing into all-time high territory, and right now, most traders are about to make a classic mistake. The smart money isn't chasing this move. They're waiting for price to come back to a specific zone before pulling the trigger. I'm going to show you exactly where that zone is, what confirmation you need, and why patience right now is your single biggest edge. Stay with me.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we're breaking down ES1, the S&P 500 E-mini futures, using our full smart money concepts and price action framework across all 4 time frames. Here's your bias snapshot going into this session. Weekly, bullish. Daily, bullish. 4H, bullish. 1H, ranging, consolidating just below recent highs. 3 of 4 time frames are aligned to the upside, and that tells us one thing. The trend is your friend here, but only if you wait for the right entry. Let's get into the charts.
On the weekly, we've got a textbook bullish structure. Higher highs, higher lows, and a confirmed BOS that launched price from the demand zone around 6,825. Before that move, there was a chalk that flipped the bias from bearish to bullish. That's your macro context. Institutions loaded up, and they've been running price ever since. On the daily, we see the same story amplified.
What's
2
up, everyone?
BOS confirmations,
Welcome back.
a chalk
Today,
mid-chart
we're breaking
before
down
the explosive leg
ES1,
higher,
the
and
S&P
price now
500
testing the
E-mini
swing
futures,
high near
using our full
7640.
smart money
The
concepts
daily
and
structure
price
is
action
clean,
framework
strong,
across
and
all 4 time
unambiguously
frames.
bullish.
Here's your
Here's
bias
the
snapshot
liquidity
going
picture.
into this session.
Buy side
Weekly,
is resting
bullish.
above those equal
Daily,
highs at
bullish.
7640 to
4H,
7650.
bullish.
And there's a major
1H,
HTF
ranging,
BSL pool
consolidating
sitting up at
just below recent
7680
highs.
to 7700.
3 of 4
that
time
price has been
frames are
creeping
aligned to the
toward.
upside.
Below
and that
us,
tells us
sell
one
side
thing.
pools sit near
The trend is your
7380
friend
to
here,
7420
but only
on
if
the
you wait for the
4H.
right entry.
Price has already swept
get into the
immediate
charts.
SSL, and right now it's approaching that BSL above the highs. Watch the 7640 to 7650 level closely. A clean sweep there could be the trigger for a deeper pullback.
Entry conditions right now, pending. Price at 76.21 is still extended in premium territory. We are not in the OTE window yet. The optimal trade entry zone is 74.60 to 75.30, which represents the 62 to 79% retracement of the recent impulse. What you're waiting for is price to pull back into that zone, then show you either a rejection wick, a displacement candle, or a 1H BOS to the upside, confirming demand is back in control. Do not enter until price reaches the zone and gives you that signal.
Here's the plan. We're looking for a long on the pullback. Entry zone is 74.60 to 75.30. That's the 4H OB and FVG confluence block. Stop loss goes below the OB at 74.15, just under the wick low with a small buffer. TP1 is up at 76.40 to 76.50. That's the nearest BSL pool and the recent swing high. TP2 extends to 76.80 to 7700, where the major HTF buy-side pool sits. We're risking approximately 80 points to make 150 at TP1 and up to 195 at TP2. That's an R to R of 1.19 to 1.24. The numbers work. Now we just need price to cooperate.
The zone is not ready. Protect your capital and wait for full alignment. And I want you to really sit with that, because right now, ES is near all-time highs, and the FOMO is real. Every instinct is telling you to jump in. But look at the chart. Price hasn't reached our entry zone. There's no confirmation trigger, and we're extended in premium. The traders who win consistently aren't the ones who catch every move. They're the ones who wait for the exact conditions that give them an unfair advantage. Your job today is simple. Set your alerts at 75.30 and 74.60 and wait. Discipline is the trade. The zone is not ready. Protect your capital and wait for full alignment. And I want you to really sit with that, because right now, ES is near all-time highs, and the FOMO is real. every instinct is telling you to jump in. But look at the chart. Price hasn't reached our entry zone. There's no confirmation trigger, and we're extended in premium. The traders who win consistently aren't the ones who catch every move. They're the ones who wait for the exact conditions that give them an unfair advantage. Your job today is simple. Set your alerts at 75.30 and 74.60 and wait. Discipline is the trade.
That's the full ES1 breakdown for today. Structure, liquidity, zones, the trade plan, and exactly what you're watching for. Drop your own bias in the comments. Are you waiting for the pullback? Or do you think we rip straight through to 7,700 without touching the zone? If this breakdown added value, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Until then, stay sharp, stay patient, and stay in the zone.